scary Peppa Pig episode that never made it on TV. Peppa was helping Mummy Pig in the kitchen, kneading dough for cookies. The warm, comforting scent of vanilla filled the air. Suddenly, the kitchen faucet began to drip, slowly at first, then faster, until it was a steady, rhythmic thud. Mummy Pig, engrossed in her recipe book, didn't notice. The water in the sink began to swirl, not draining, but forming strange, dark patterns. Peppa peered closer and saw faces, distorted and silent, swirling within the murky depths. The kitchen grew cold, a chill seeping from the sink that made her teeth chatter. The cheerful yellow walls seemed to fade, replaced by a sickly green hue. The sound of the dripping faucet intensified, becoming a frantic drumming, as if something was trying to break free. The faces in the water grew clearer, their eyes wide with silent screams. Mummy Pig finally looked up, her eyes glazed over, a vacant smile on her face. She reached into the swirling water, her hand disappearing into the dark abyss. Peppa screamed, but no sound came out. The water rose, overflowing the sink, creeping across the floor like a living thing. It snaked around her feet, cold and suffocating. The faces in the water multiplied, reaching out with shadowy hands. The kitchen door slammed shut, trapping her inside. The air grew thick with the smell of damp earth and decay. Mummy Pig, still smiling vacantly, began to sink into the floor, the water rising around her. Peppa tried to run, but her feet were rooted to the spot. The water was now waist-high, pulling her down. The faces in the water swarmed around her, their silent screams now a deafening chorus in her mind. The last thing she saw was Mummy Pig's vacant smile, just before the dark water closed over her head. It's a lovely sunny morning, and Peppa Pig is playing in the garden with her little brother George. George, look, there's something strange behind Grandpa Pig's old shed. I've never noticed that path before. Dinosaur path. Grr. The path was covered with the most beautiful flowers they had ever seen. Purple, pink, and golden petals seemed to shimmer in the sunlight. Wow, these flowers are so pretty and sparkly. Where path go, Peppa? I don't know, George. Should we follow it and see where it leads? It looks like an adventure. So Peppa and George decided to follow the mysterious flower path. As they walked, they heard the most wonderful tinkling sounds, like tiny bells in the wind. Listen, George, the flowers are making music. How extraordinary. Magic flowers. Ding ding. The path led them to a secret garden they had never seen before. In the center stood the most magnificent tree, with leaves that changed colors like a rainbow. Oh my, look at that amazing tree. George, the leaves are red, then blue, then green. How does it do that? Rainbow tree, pretty. Suddenly, they heard a gentle voice coming from the tree. But it wasn't scary at all, it sounded kind and friendly. Welcome, little visitors, to the Garden of Wonders. Did that tree just talk to us, George? Talking tree. Hello, tree. Hello, George. Hello, Peppa. I've been waiting for curious children like you to find this special place. This garden is full of wonderful surprises. Would you like to see some magic? Yes, please. We love surprises, don't we, George? Magic. Magic. The tree waved its branches, and suddenly butterflies made of pure light began to dance around Peppa and George. They're so beautiful, and they feel warm and tickly. Butterfly friends. Giggle giggle. These are the guardian butterflies. They protect all the wonderful things in this garden and make sure everything stays happy and safe. Next, the tree showed them flowers that could sing lullabies and grass that felt as soft as clouds under their feet. This is the most wonderful place ever. Can we come back and visit again? Of course. But remember, this garden is our secret. Only kind hearts can find the path. Secret garden. Our secret. That's right, George. And because you've been such good visitors, I have a special gift for you both. The tree gave each of them a small, glowing acorn that would always remind them of their magical adventure. Thank you, tree. This is the best present ever. Glowy acorn. Thank you. Keep them safe, and they'll always bring you happy dreams. As the afternoon sun began to set, it was time for Peppa and George to return home. Come back soon, my friends. The garden will always be here for you. They followed the flower path back home, and with each step, the magical sounds grew softer, like a gentle lullaby. What an amazing adventure, George. Do you think Mummy and Daddy will believe us? Show acorn. Proof. When they reached home, Mummy Pig and Daddy Pig were waiting for them. There you are. We were wondering where you'd gone. Did you have a nice time playing? We found the most wonderful secret garden. Look at our special acorns. My word, those are very special acorns indeed. They seem to be glowing. That night, Peppa and George placed their magical acorns by their beds, and they had the most wonderful dreams about their new friend, the rainbow tree, and all the magical adventures still waiting for them in the secret garden. Peppa Pig episode, The Mysterious Sounds. Duration, 3 minutes 10 seconds, 190 seconds, 25 frames, 7.6 seconds per frame. Script with frame timing. Frame 1 midnight to 007. Narrator. It's a lovely autumn evening at Peppa's house. The family is getting ready for bed. Frame 2, 008 to 015. Peppa. Mummy, what was that strange sound I heard earlier in the garden? Frame 3, 016 to 023. Mummy Pig. Oh, Peppa, it was probably just the wind blowing through the trees. Nothing to worry about, little one. Frame 4, 024 to 031. Daddy Pig. Yes, autumn nights can be quite noisy with all the leaves rustling about. Time for bed now. Frame 5, 032 to 039. Narrator. But as the family settles down for the night, Peppa hears the mysterious sound again from her bedroom window. Frame 6, 040 to 047. Peppa, George, did you hear that? It sounded like footsteps in our garden. Frame 7, 048 to 055. George, dinosaur? Grr. Frame 8, 056 to 103. Peppa, no George, not a dinosaur. Something else. Let's look out the window very quietly. Frame 9, 104 to 111. Narrator. Peppa and George peek through the curtains. The garden looks different in the moonlight, full of mysterious shadows. Frame 10, 112 to 119. Peppa. Look, George. There's something moving by the apple tree. What could it be? Frame 11, 120 to 127. Narrator. The children see a dark shape moving slowly across the garden. It seems to be searching for something. Frame 12, 128 to 135. George. Peppa. Scared. Frame 13, 136 to 143. Peppa. Don't worry, George. We're brave. Let's wake up Mummy and Daddy to solve this mystery together. Frame 14, 144 to 151. Narrator. The children tiptoe to their parents' room. Mummy and Daddy Pig are fast asleep and snoring loudly. Frame 15, 152 to 159. Peppa, Mummy, Daddy, there's something mysterious in our garden. Frame 16, 2 to 207. Daddy Pig. What's that, Peppa? A mystery? How exciting. Frame 17, 208 to 215. Mummy Pig. Let's all go downstairs together and take a look, but we must be very quiet. Frame 18, 216 to 223. Narrator. The whole family creeps downstairs and peers out through the kitchen window into the moonlit garden. Frame 19, 224 to 231. Daddy Pig. Well, I never. Look there by the vegetable patch. Frame 20, 232 to 239. Narrator. There in the garden, they see Mrs. Rabbit with a flashlight, carefully digging around the carrot patch. Frame 21, 240 to 247. Mummy Pig. Oh my, it's Mrs. Rabbit. But what is she doing in our garden so late at night? Frame 22, 248 to 255. Narrator. Daddy Pig opens the back door and calls out softly to their neighbor. Frame 23, 256 to 303. Daddy Pig. Mrs. Rabbit? Is everything all right? We heard some mysterious sounds. Frame 24, 304 to 311. Rabbit. Oh, hello. I'm so sorry for the disturbance. I was looking for my lost house keys. I dropped them somewhere in your garden this afternoon when I was visiting. Frame 25, 312 to 319. Narrator. And so the mysterious nighttime visitor turned out to be their friendly neighbor Mrs. Rabbit, simply looking for her lost keys. The mystery was solved, and everyone could sleep peacefully. The end. Peppa. What a funny mystery. Good night, everyone. All good night. Narrator. It was a bright, sunny morning in Peppa Pig's world. Peppa, George, Mummy Pig, and Daddy Pig were all excited for a special family picnic. They packed their basket with delicious treats and set off for a new, unexplored part of the forest, a place Daddy Pig had heard whispers about. The forest grew denser as they ventured deeper. The trees were taller, and the shadows seemed to dance in peculiar ways. Peppa, usually so boisterous, found herself speaking in hushed tones. George clutched his dinosaur toy a little tighter. They found a clearing, bathed in an eerie, green light filtering through the leaves. A single, ancient-looking tree stood in the center, its branches twisted into strange, almost watchful shapes. Mummy Pig shivered, despite the warmth of the day. Peppa, whispering, "Daddy, this place feels funny." Daddy Pig chuckles nervously, "Nonsense, Peppa, it's just a bit atmospheric, perfect for a picnic." Narrator. As they laid out their blanket, a faint, almost imperceptible humming sound began to emanate from the ancient tree. It was a low, resonant thrum that seemed to vibrate through the very ground beneath them. George pointed, his eyes wide. George, muttering, "Dino, scared." Mummy Pig, trying to sound cheerful, "Oh, George, it's just the wind in the leaves, dear. Let's eat." Narrator. They began to eat, but the food tasted bland, and the usual joy of a picnic was absent. The humming grew slightly louder, and the shadows around the clearing seemed to deepen, even in the sunlight. Peppa, looking around nervously, "Did you hear that, Mummy?" Sounded like a whisper. Mummy Pig, frowning, "I didn't hear anything, Peppa. Perhaps you're just tired." Narrator. Suddenly, the ancient tree's twisted branches seemed to move, not with the wind, but with a slow, deliberate creak. A single, large, unblinking eye seemed to open on its trunk, glowing with a faint, unsettling light. Daddy Pig, stammering, "WL, I think we've had enough picnic for one day. Time to go home." Narrator. The family scrambled to pack their things, their movements hurried and clumsy. The eye on the tree seemed to follow them, its gaze unwavering. The humming intensified, now a low, guttural growl. Peppa, panicked, "Run, Daddy, run." Narrator. They ran through the forest, the strange green light and the ominous humming pursuing them. The familiar path seemed to twist and turn, leading them deeper into the unknown. The trees around them began to resemble distorted faces, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. George let out a small whimper, burying his face in Mummy Pig's side. Daddy Pig, gasping for breath, I don't remember this part of the forest." Narrator. They stumbled upon a small, murky pond. The water was still, reflecting the distorted trees like a dark mirror. From its depths, faint, glowing eyes seemed to peer out. Mummy Pig, voice trembling, "We need to find our way out. This isn't right." Narrator. A chilling, high-pitched giggle echoed through the trees, seemingly coming from all directions at once. It was a sound that was both childlike and deeply unsettling. Peppa, tears in her eyes, "I want to go home. I don't like this game." Narrator. They ran faster, the giggling growing louder, closer. The ground beneath their feet felt soft and spongy, as if they were running on something alive. Daddy Pig, determined, "We're almost there, just a little further." Narrator. Suddenly,